In 2017, this was the best natural bodybuilder, Sam Okunola, in the world, compared to the best enhanced bodybuilder in the world, Mr. Olympia, in that same year, Phil Heath. Quite a difference.
That's right. So you just saw the difference between an actual drug-tested natural bodybuilding world champion. Okay, we're talking about #1 in the world in 2017 versus that same year, the enhanced or drug-using bodybuilder in the Mr. Olympia, which would be the alternate universe, the best in the world, Phil Heath in 2017. Sam Okunola versus Phil Heath. Big, big difference between the two of them. Why am I even bringing this up? I want to emphasize to you is a little education in this, okay? I know that every time I see a video out there that says natty or not, or fake natties, anything having to do with the topic, man, is there a ton of clicks? Is there a ton of views? And so this topic is obviously important to a lot of bodybuilders out there, a lot of you guys who have been watching these videos. And it's important to emphasize right here that, look, truthfully, right, totally, you can see right there in the video or in the pictures that I've shown you so far. I have some good video coming up, but in the pictures that I've shown you so far, that these two guys are night and day from each other. I mean, you take Sam, put him in some street clothes, you can't tell that he's a bodybuilder. He looks athletic, for sure. He looks athletic, but you'd be hard-pressed to take a guess at which profession he's in. And he's not just been through the late 20-teens, 2017, 18, 19. He wasn't just the world champion. He's also won pro shows along the way as well. So he was considered a dominant force, actually, in the WNBF. That's the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. So much so, I should say, that there were not many to compare at that point in time. And by my view, I don't know his exact stats, but I would guess about 6 foot and maybe 190, 185, ripped 190. Looks about 190. So that's the heavyweight winner in the World Championships and overall winner in the World Championships that year. Phil Heath, on the other hand, was rocking the stage about 250 and, with 60 more pounds. And that does seem to be the difference, okay? About 60 pounds in shape between the natural world champion and the enhanced world champion of the same level or caliber, let's say, with the same number of training years and all of that. It's about a 60-pound difference, which is pretty good. As far as it's a hefty difference right there that the chemicals do. So I really want to show a little bit of footage too, so you can see the difference between, but the difference of Sam on stage when he won his most recent show in 2017 prior to the World Championships. And you'll see right here, let's go ahead and take a look at that footage right now.
Sam Okunola was the 2017 World Natural Bodybuilding Champion. So 2017, he was the top guy in the whole world. He ended up winning the pro class at this show. Looked absolutely insane, as he always does. And now he's going to be gunning for Worlds again this year in a couple months. So that's really not a stretch to say that Sam is one of the, if not the top natural bodybuilder.
Now this footage came from Jeff Nippard's YouTube channel. He did a great video training with Sam Okunola. They did it was the day after that show right there, where they went in Sacramento. He had won the Sacramento show, a pro show up in Northern California. And Jeff went ahead and worked out with him in the gym the next day. And so there's some really good footage. If you go to it, I'll put the link down below in my video description. But I really wanted to show this footage in particular because you could see on stage, right? Sam looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. His upper body especially. The difference perhaps being that in the natural bodybuilding, those legs, they don't really compare to the enhanced bodies that are out there in the leg department. But in his case, he dominated and won that show. And you could see that he's in very good shape. Okay, ripped to the bone. That's sort of a hallmark in natural bodybuilding. You must be ripped to the bone. Now you see how it's a little bit of a throwback as well, let's say, to that 1970s, early 80s bodybuilder that just has a little bit more aesthetic and small waist. There's no bloat whatsoever because there's no drugs. And for those of you who are shaking your heads already and saying, Sam's not natural, or any of the natural guys aren't really natural and all of that, this is just getting ridiculous, because who do you believe is natural at that point, okay? These guys are drug tested. I was a natural pro in the same organization, and yes, I was drug tested at the shows. I was drug tested in between the shows when I'd be just attending a bodybuilding show, sitting in the audience. They'd grab me out of the audience and have me go pee in a cup. So being tested that randomly and that often, it does ensure pretty much a level playing field. These guys are pretty much natural. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys, okay? Is that I have no reason to doubt. And some of the guys, they were bigger than me in some of the shows I did, and then some of them, were not as big as me. I have no reason to doubt. If we can say genetics were probably showing through, I'd agree with that. Genetics were really showing through. So that's pretty much it as far as natural bodybuilding goes. And also, I've recently done a video, I'll put the link down below, about how many of you guys seem to point back to the Silver Era bodybuilders as ones who did everything right as far as, training, no drugs, and how they worked out a certain way, and they were wholesome. I mean, they drank whole milk, all of that stuff. And now it comes out in recent times that, they just weren't so clean like we all assumed, okay? They just weren't. They had access to drugs. And it comes out they did do drugs in the 50s, okay? And then, of course, that also negates the 40s and part of the 30s because the drugs were there and were available. Without drug testing, you can't even believe that. So here we are now. And to really emphasize it, I'm going to show you this clip right here. You can see how, Sam and Jeff, after they got done working out, they took it off, they posed in the gym, and you can see these are two natural bodybuilders. Okay, one in contest shape. So on this side of your screen, you're going to see Sam the day after the show, and he's ripped, he's in great shape. And then off to your right, you're going to see Jeff, a shorter guy with a baseball hat on. He is in obvious off-season shape. He doesn't compete in recent years that I've seen, at least, but he does great videos. I'm going to tell you that much. And he's very much a science-based guy. So when we see him doing some good videos, generally I listen. Most of his things are pretty good. So here you're going to see them posing down. Take a look at this. And like I told you, comparatively speaking, right? Sam, a little taller, about 6 foot. And then Jeff, probably, I would guess, 5'6", 5'7" at most. Competed as a lightweight. Sam was competing as a heavyweight. And the difference, height-wise, size-wise, frame-wise, Jeff is no slouch in natural bodybuilding. He won that same show a few years back. And amazing shape, amazing conditioning. Natural bodybuilding is all about the shape, the conditioning. And so I really do stand up for these guys today in natural bodybuilding. I have a great amount of respect for them because, in particular, they're drug tested, okay? And drug tested often. And because of that, I know there's no super secret formula, super secret sauce out there that they use, well hidden, well secretized, that everybody keeps the secret just for when we all get drug tested, So no, that's just not the case. So you're getting to see what a natural looks like, who's actually dieted and trained properly and gotten it down into shape after, anywhere from 12 to 18 weeks, usually in that time zone. So that's what it really looks like. So Phil Heath, as a enhanced bodybuilder, having 60 pounds on someone like a Sam right there, Wow, big difference, big difference. So we have to change our parameters when we see certain bodybuilders, okay? You just can't call them skinny. That's one thing I also don't like, is when people look at somebody like a Sam or look at Jeff or myself for that matter, and they say, skinny, okay? Look like a swimmer. That's nice. That's, I look at that and I go, it's big talk. Big talk comes from somebody who doesn't step on stage. Plenty of people make comments to me in the comment section down below, and they usually say things, some of them have said things, comparing them to me, and I'm like, all right, well, where's the pictures? Where can I see how you look when you're in shape and all of that? Nah, never. I don't get to see that. I'm not claiming to be the biggest guy, and neither is Sam or even Jeff in those videos. But the reality is that we've all been natural pros, and there is a sport, natural pro bodybuilding, and this is what they look like, or we look like. So that's it, for your edification today, and also, maybe it'll help some of y'all out as far as, setting your goals properly, okay, and without disappointment. The fact of the matter is that there's no 260-pound, ripped to the bone, natural bodybuilders. There are none, okay? I mean, unless I guess they're about 8 feet tall. So, but there are none. So the heavyweight class is 190 and above in natural bodybuilding. So if that gives you another indication right there, the large majority of natural pros that are heavyweights compete somewhere between 190 and 200 pounds. Very, very few are over 200 pounds. And that's just a fact. So you know what? I'll put another video down below of the biggest natural bodybuilder that I've known out of the UK. And his name is Richard. And you'll see what a natural mesomorph with great gifts who competed around 215. And at 6'1", yeah, I stood next to him on stage. He was amazing. So you'll see it. And that's it. All right. So hope you enjoy this video. Next time out, I'll tell you what, before we even go next time out, why don't you do this? That disc popping up next to my head right now, that is the subscribe button for my channel. If you would, give that thing a tap and become a subscriber to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It just lets you, in your feed, you'll see my videos pop up when new ones pop up. And down below off to your left, you'll see the thumbs up button right there. Why don't you give this video a thumbs up? The YouTube algorithm loves it, and so do I. I will see you next time.